Okay, everybody. Today is September the 10th, Sunday evening, about 30 minutes after the weekly open. Let's go ahead and run through our market outlook and plans for the week ahead. So let's go ahead and start it off with the news events. We actually have something to worry about this week. We have the CPI on Wednesday. I'm not really going to trade based off how the numbers come out. I really don't care about the results. I'm going to follow my system regardless. But it is nice to know that Wednesday should have some Bitcoin volatility. Bitcoin vol has been extremely low as of late, so we can, at least rely on these kind of events to give us something for intraday. We also have the PPI on Thursday, but I really don't care about that one, so it's pretty much just going to be Wednesday vol. To clarify too, I really do not care how the numbers come out. I've learned through experience of trading these events a lot that it's better to acknowledge that the events are coming through to be ready to trade them, but don't really pay attention to how the numbers come out. When you have a system that works, just trade the system and try to exist inside of a vacuum. So let's go ahead and run through Bitcoin. Let's start top to bottom. So let's go through the higher time frame plans first. Basically, we're seeing the continuation of the original plans. So we got the dead cat bounce into HVN. From here, we do expect downside continuation. So as far as I'm concerned on higher time frame, I'm just waiting for any opportunities to short again. We'll cover the actual kind of more specific setups when we zoom in. But for now, basically, we've got these lows right here. Opening shorts into where we're at for swings is a no-go for me. The expected value is just not there. The probabilities probably are there. It's a pretty reasonable probability that we trade down from here, but the risk to reward is really not there. So the only thing I'm kind of interested for swing directional trades on Bitcoin is if we do get a legitimate, pop up into resistance, then I probably would look to take a swing short. Apart from that, I'm really just going to be focused on lower time frame stuff. So with Bitcoin, intraday trading, and then for scalping, just going to be trading shitcoins. Bitcoin's volatility is just not there for scalping it. So it really is it's only good enough for intraday, and when I'm scalping it, it's got to be shitcoins these days. So keeping it nice, short and sweet today. There's really not too much to cover. We're just seeing the plan play out that I originally had covered. Right, we built up this value. The expectation was we would trade up and have a dead cat bounce. That since these flows were so heavily driven off of the news, it kind of played out a lot faster than I expected it to. I definitely did not expect it to be just up and down in one candle like this. I did expect it to be a slower drift up, and for that reason, I do think that it's not improbable that we do trade up before we trade down. So if we get a legitimate pop up into the maybe mid 26s, potentially into the 27s, I will almost certainly be looking for a swing short to target down into the 23K region. I think that this 25K level has been really strong support this year, but we're definitely getting to that point where it's probably going to break it soon. So again, if we trade up, you want to fade it. I think that opening swing shorts into this 25K level is pretty foolish. I think the expected value is really weak on it. So downside targets, right? I think that 23K is the first downside target, followed by 19 to 20K. Both of these targets are extremely obvious. Anybody, regardless of what their approach to trading is going to be, everyone's going to be identifying these same regions. So as a result, you should be expecting two type of scenarios: either the front run or the blast through. The front run, right, where you just trade down and you don't actually trade into the level, and you front run it and you bounce off of it before then, because we do ultimately expect dead cats along the way, right? It's not just going to go down in a straight line. It is going to have dead cats along the way as it trades down. Same thing with this kind of region. This is a super obvious region for people to interact with. A lot of people are drawing their higher time frame halvening charts and stuff and saying that this is kind of the area where you want to buy spot and bet on, the long continuation into 2024 and 2025. Experience has taught me that it's never going to be that simple. So if everybody thinks that that's the obvious play, the most likely scenario is we're going to blast through them and blow everybody out in the process. Everybody thinks that this is the area to buy the dip. So we're probably going to trade through them a lot. And I do think eventually we'll reclaim and we will have upside later, in the cycle. But I do definitely think that the best way to hurt traders is to just blast through the obvious trading levels. So that's pretty much it for higher time frame stuff. Let's go ahead and zoom in to the medium time frame. And then we'll look at the lower time frame. So as far as I'm concerned on the medium time frame, really only two things I'm interested in participating in. One, like we said, if we trade up into kind of local supply, there's a lot of overlaps for resistance in the 27Ks, in the lower 27s at least. If we trade up into that kind of region, I have lots of alerts both on spot pairs and perp pairs. I definitely want to smack down a short if that is the case. To bet on downside continuation. Apart from that, I do think that it's pretty reasonable to expect that we just continue to oscillate around this value that we built up over the past several weeks, or like we're on the 4th week now, I believe. So the most likely scenario is still crap. So that is what I would be betting on most likely. How I would trade this is leaning into intraday. So this is what I'm looking for intraday stuff. Intraday reversion anytime we trade into the extremes of value, into the lows or into the highs. When I get my, reversion setups, which is generally going to be based off open interest wipes, I'm going to be looking to, mean revert basically. And that's pretty much it for medium time frame, right? That's pretty much it for Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and move over to altcoins.
For more information, check out the Paragon group with the link below, where I cover everything from how I trade to how you can develop your own style.
Let's start off with the watch list stuff, and then we'll talk about scalping. So as far as I'm concerned, through my watch list, there's really not that much to pay attention to for higher time frame. Really, the main juice with shitcoins is trading the cartel pumps and scalping along the way on anything that's high vol and high participation. So we'll run through some of the shitcoins on the sell list, right? So these were all the ones that I was telling you guys, over the past few weeks have been good for selling. So OP has basically traded down into the kind of final zone that I expected it to trade down into. I'm not in this short anymore. I closed it out way too early, but it is nice to, at least cope and say that, played out to plan, according to the plan. What I would be looking for something like OP right now is basically every aspect of the VWAP structuring is still incredibly bearish. So if OP can do like a decent pop at some point, basically reconverge with its quarterly VWAP, then I would probably run the same exact setup all over again, just run it back. So that's something I'd be looking for. If altcoins can kind of get squeezed up, then I would be looking to fade these. SUI is a really good one to highlight because this is essentially what most shitcoins look like. Probably 95% of shitcoins look just like this right here. So anything that looks like this, if it can do significant pops where it can, trade up, 10, 20%, then you should probably be looking to short them because they're going to have downside continuation. These things, the trend is really, favoring to the downside. Most shitcoins are going to continue to follow this pattern, bleeding out and just, basically fading off into irrelevancy. So as long as there's, downside and you're not trading into support regions, you want to be trying to short these things. Let's go ahead and cover the opposite end of the spectrum. There's a couple of shitcoins that still look pretty reasonable. Tomo, I would be pretty careful with it right now where it's at. It's very diddle in the middle, but the yearly structure is still up. It's been very PvP and very choppy as of late, with these huge wipeouts where longs are just getting clobbered. This is another low liquidity coin, so you do need to be careful on it. But I do think that, like we had talked about after this kind of big puke came through, I figured that it would build a distribution here and then resume the trend, just, basically do this all over again. So it looks, like it's doing that. So again, I would be careful just positioning right in, diddling into the middle. If it was to trade down here a little bit, your risk to reward on longs gets really good if you get closer to the $1.10 kind of region. So that's it for the higher time frame stuff. The other thing to cover is just going to be scalping shitcoins. So last week I really hit my stride. Over the past couple weeks, these kind of cartel coins have just been doing ridiculous volume, and that has caused a lot of participants to come and chase that. And basically whenever these perps have lots and lots of people trading them, that bring you get the combination of liquidity coming in and active participation, and you get the bonus effect of even though there's liquidity, they're still thinner than something like Bitcoin, so you're getting nice volatility at the same time while having all that active participation. So scalping these shitcoins has been definitely the best way to trade on perps. The opportunity there is just absolutely plentiful compared to Bitcoin. So I'm really hoping to continue to trade like that this week. I've been trading like that for a couple of weeks now. But last week in particular, I really just, like I said, I hit my stride where I had one of my best performances in quite some time last week. So definitely hoping that I can replicate that again this week in some form. So keep it simple, guys. Basically, you just want to scan by tick rate, right? Whatever's putting in high ticks, go and look at the chart. As long as there's, and go and look at the order book as well. If there's high tick, consistent high tick, right? You don't want these like short-winded bursts where somebody's basically getting forced out of a position and the tick rate goes up really high. You want to see that sustained tick rate over several hours. Perp was probably the main one last week. I put in most of my trades on Perp. Flamingo at the beginning of the week was pretty good. Unify's been good here and there, and BLZ as well. I saw before I turned the stream, before I started recording, storage was looking good to us. I added it to my list, but gonna keep it really simple. I'm just gonna follow my scalping system, be really aggressive with taking profits, and continue to trade whatever's high tick, basically. I don't want to show this because I do plan to put this on YouTube as well, but the Paragon group knows what my scalping system looks like because we went into great detail on it last week. So that's pretty much it, guys. Everybody have a good week out there, and good luck. Hopefully the cartel shitcoins continue to be putting in high ticks. Cheers, everybody.